here's Brody Brazil.
Here on this YouTube channel, we obviously focus a lot on sports teams and the stadium projects they hope to get done. And normally the biggest sticking point, if you will, are public subsidies, as in how much would, could, or really should the local city or county government chip in with public funding to help secure this stadium project for a privately held sports entity. Rarely does it ever get to the point of somebody going to prison for all of this, but such is the case in Southern California. This is not a news story, but more like a development of something we've seen unfolding. The former mayor of Anaheim has now been sentenced to prison because of a stadium deal gone wrong. This is Mayor Harry Sidhu, 67 years old. He won office in 2018, took office in 2019. He resigned in 2022. More on that in just a second, but he pleaded guilty back in 2023. He was behind the deal to sell Angel Stadium and the parking lots and land surrounding it to Angels owner Arte Moreno for $325 million. You understand that for all these years, the team has leased that land. They've never owned it, but they tried to take control of it so that they could do their own real estate projects surrounding it and then obviously renovate Angel Stadium one more time. Moreno is going to develop a village of homes and shops and restaurants and businesses, and obviously in Southern California and Orange County, you don't come across a big chunk of land, open land like that right next to a freeway, as Angel Stadium and the property sits currently right now. So this would have been a huge deal, and $325 million, what a steal of a price. Even back then, obviously that's a low number right now, but that was going to be the case between the city of Anaheim and the team, and the ownership of the Angels was going to take over this land, develop it, and in the end have a lot of control and make a lot of money off this. But we get more information from Sidhu's plea agreement, which said, quote, defendant was using the Angels consultant and the former Anaheim Chamber of Commerce president to provide that confidential inside information to the Angels, as in confidential inside negotiation information, so that the Angels could use that information in the negotiations with the city to purchase Angel Stadium on terms beneficial to the Angels. Long story short, what he was accused of and what's documented here in the plea agreement is that Sidhu, instead of representing the city of Anaheim, kind of crossed lines and told the Angels and the Chamber of Commerce president all the details from the city of Anaheim side so that the Angels had a far better situation during negotiations and to try and acquire this land for a lot better situation and a lot lower cost. Not representing the people that elected you, basically. In January of 2022, Sidhu was secretly recorded by the FBI, and he essentially gave the quote here, which was expecting to get a campaign contribution. Now, he, after this, kind of backtracked on this quote, saying that he wasn't necessarily serious. He obviously didn't know he was being recorded, but he said, quote, I'm hoping to get at least $1 million, as in $1 million of campaign contribution for helping the Angels out in trying to better these negotiations for the team instead of for the city of Anaheim. Well, this deal obviously never went through, and largely because in May of 2022, the FBI investigation into this entire stadium deal, it went public. Everybody found out about this. And so the Anaheim City Council is instantly like, all right, just on principle alone, we're voting this down. Shortly after that, Sidhu resigned. This was, I think, only a couple weeks shy of his first full 4-year term as mayor. He's now facing a $55,000 fine and a 2-month prison sentence in terms of all of this gone wrong. And by the way, there really has been no movement on this land sale, on potentially sale of the Angels baseball team. That was up in the air for a while. Here's the Angels' involvement in all of this. The team has not been implicated, meaning that as of right now, there's nothing really to discuss on their part of this. It was all the mayor's wrongdoing. It was all the mayor now facing this punishment and penalty. The Angels were reportedly a couple years ago, 2 years ago at this point, considering a sale. And then they decided that they were not considering a sale anymore. It seems like there is a built-in frustration factor The team really wants to secure a new home. They've renovated Angels Stadium over the years a couple different times. It used to be a multi-purpose stadium. The Rams used to play there. And now it's just the Angels. They've made it a baseball-only stadium. It's not the worst place in the world, but it's certainly not as good as what Dodger Stadium offers, what Petco Park offers, what Oracle Park offers, anything else in California pretty much, and even beyond across Major League Baseball. The Angels would love to take control of this land so that they can do whatever they want with the stadium and so they can develop the land around it and kind of make it like, well, another downtown Disney. So the Angels may be considering selling the team less about the actual baseball team, more about what they can and can't get done on the side of the team in terms of real estate projects. In January of 2025, though, so just a couple months ago, they renewed their lease at Angels Stadium through 2032. So at least this, they're just kicking the can down the road. There's no pressing need to leave Angels Stadium. It is something to think about, and by 2032, you'd have to think within the next several years, by 2028, they'd have to have a plan, being 4 years away from their lease expiring. But as of this point, it seems like they're just going to go status quo on their stadium. They're obviously struggling as a team on the field, nowhere close to the playoffs. They had Shohei Ohtani. They didn't trade him. They got nothing for him. He became a free agent, and then he crossed town to the Dodgers. They still have Mike Trout, heavily injured last year. It's a sad story. The Angels have never been able to really get Trout to a playoffs, minus 2014. He's been there one season and one series, and even that didn't go well. So there's no progress on the team. There's really no progress on any final say for the future home of the Halos. All of this, though, to kind of set up the real big picture takeaway of this story and development between city and county negotiations with teams and owners and presidents. Usually there's a lot of friction. Usually there's a lot of back and forth and grenades being lobbed from one side to the other, and it's hard to get deals done. It's so amazing that there was somebody on the inside here who took office with a very strong motivation to get something done, whether that was premeditated or not, or he got into office and was kind of influenced to get this stadium deal done. Somebody who really wanted to get it done, but only for selfish reasons. Essentially, if you look at this in reverse, was kind of a plant for the Angels to try and get ownership of the stadium and land, and it didn't work. It got figured out. I guess the nature of it is, and the takeaway of all this is, it's supposed to be kind of butting heads. It's supposed to be a difficult arrangement and agreement. And if it goes this easy to the point where, oh, things are flowing so well and the team's going to get a great deal and the city's not standing up for itself, then maybe something behind the scenes like this could be happening. I mean, sometimes it is painless, but it usually never goes that quick, and there usually is some back and forth to all of this. Let me know what you think about this story in the comment section below. Also, while you're down there, thumbs up. That helps me, this video, and this channel. And also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. That way I can definitely see you back here next time.